Okay, hello everyone, and welcome. How's everyone doing today? Hopefully you are doing fine, or at least hopefully you're not having a bad day, or if you are having a bad day, hopefully I can help to cheer you up a bit. It is time for today's gameplay stream. I am Darkside Phil. It is Thursday, August 12th, 2016. And we finally have some definitive view, a definitive gander at the week coming up. And I can finally tell you what you can expect in the next week to week and a half until all the new releases begin for the month, which really is the next to last week of August. So, welcome to the stream. Today will be another gameplay stream of Scarface, The World Is Yours. This is my second stream of the game. I started it yesterday. It was an interesting start. I like the premise of the game that the end of the movie didn't actually happen, that Tony Montana actually survived, and is now trying to basically get back on his feet. It certainly is a very similar game in a lot of ways to Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Just the time frame, the location, even a lot of the gameplay. You know, this initial early gameplay of the game where I'm trying to take over parts of the city to gain a hold on certain districts, per se, different neighborhoods. It's very similar. You know, Vice City, you had to do that. You had to take over businesses and start bringing in income and stuff before you could progress to the next portion of the game. So it's cool. I haven't played Vice City in 4 years. And so it's cool to play a game that I've never played before that's similar. Today I've got my graphical resolution issues resolved, if you're not aware. Yesterday I was playing the game, and everyone who was watching was having a good time. You know, it looked like a great game. But for me, when I was playing it on my television, I was unable to get it to be the correct aspect ratio, because this is an original Xbox game being emulated on the Xbox 360, and the game didn't have any widescreen options. There was no way to get it, say, to change the resolution to go widescreen for me. And so I was playing it in this squished 4:3 aspect ratio, and everything looked super skinny, and it was a little difficult, especially for a few particular missions, to do what I needed to do, because it didn't give me the viewing angle that I needed. But special thanks to a viewer last night who was watching the videos and heard me say that this was an issue. Usagi, I forget the full Twitter name, but I do know it started with Usagi, because I think the avatar was Usagi Yojimbo from Ninja Turtles, of all things. I wonder how many people understand that reference. But anyway, he basically said, I looked this up, and apparently Scarface, when it's emulated on the Xbox 360, does have resolution issues. You need to change the resolution of your Xbox 360 to 1080i. Now, that's a resolution that most people don't use anymore. Back when the Xbox 360 was a new console, a lot of televisions didn't do 1080p resolution, the progressive scan resolution. They only did 1080i, which meant that you'd get a higher resolution, but it wouldn't look as smooth. You would have less frames of animation, choppiness in the motion, and a lot of games only ran at 1080i. They wouldn't run at 1080p. Now, obviously, that was a long time ago. We're talking 10 years difference. So in 10 years, a lot's changed. Everything runs at 1080p now. Well, at least a lot of games. Not every game. You always hear about these games. Oh, it runs at 900p or whatever. But almost no one uses the interlaced resolutions anymore. So I changed my Xbox 360 over to 1080i, and next thing I know, the game's running in widescreen for me. So I did some, adjustments behind the scenes with my streaming software, and now it looks like we'll be fine. You'll still be watching the same quality that you saw yesterday in the early gameplay of Scarface, and I'll be widescreen for the rest of the playthrough. So 2 thumbs up to that. That's definitely a positive, a good thing. And I'm looking forward to more, because I had fun yesterday. And the soundtrack of the game is pretty good. I have to admit, the soundtrack is pretty good with the song selection. I like the fact that so many kind of actors and celebrities did voice acting for the game. I wonder how many of them I'll recognize during the course of the game. We already had James Woods and Cheech Marin and Michael Rappaport, who I recognized just in the first few hours of gameplay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to today. I hope you are as well. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I don't know how long Scarface is. Here's the thing, and I want to be upfront with everyone about this. I have no idea how long this game is. I don't know if it's as long as a typical Grand Theft Auto game. If it is, you know, we're talking upwards of maybe 5, 6, 7 streams to beat it. Because a Grand Theft Auto game typically is around 20 hours long. So if they went that route, then we're talking this could be a game that I'm going to be playing, you know, for the majority of the next week to week and a half. Now you might say, well, that's great, but what about the fact that you have other stuff going on, right? You're right. Fair point. First of all, I am still playing No Man's Sky, and if you're not aware, last night I played No Man's Sky for another 2 hours, and that updated gameplay, it's about 5 more parts of around, you know, 20 to 30 minutes each. All that's live on DSPGaming, and I've now added that to the No Man's Sky playlist. And I actually ran into my first dinosaur last night. The dinosaur attacked me. Pretty stupid. I had to kill it. Didn't want to. Felt bad, but what can you do, right? So, yeah, I played it last night for a couple more hours. I am planning on playing more of No Man's Sky over the next week. What I'm going to be doing is balancing it with the gameplay that I do during the day. And so it's going to be more of a, you know, couple hours here and there in the next week. I'm hoping to maybe do three or so sessions if I can. So that way maybe I can advance another 6 or so hours. So now we're talking, you know, now I'm 16 hours into the game to get a better idea of what exactly it is in the further in, okay? So yeah, so that's going to be coming up next week. I'll go through a rough schedule in a moment here. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing more Overwatch. It's now been a week and a half since I played Overwatch, and I like the game, as you know, or else I wouldn't be going back to it. And I definitely want to play the game more. I love it. I love the game. It's competitive. It's fun. You could jump right in, and every time I play, I learn some better strategies with characters. Last time I actually started playing with Zarya a little bit and went on a little tear with her. So I actually want to play the game more, okay? So that's going to be tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'll also be doing a new DSP Tries It, a brand new thing that came out this week that I tried out. And then we'll go back to Scarface on Sunday. And probably Monday. And I'm also going to begin work tonight and probably more on Sunday, Monday, on a retrospective video on Sonic 2006. And that's going to be fun. I played that playthrough last week, as you know. I actually finished it on Monday. And what a game it was. For many different reasons. Let me put it that way. For many different reasons. It was fun. But it was also very frustrating. A broken mess of a game. And I kind of want to voice my opinions on it. Because I'm very torn. There were things about that game that I actually loved. And there are things about the game that I absolutely hated. It just seems like an unfinished, broken game. And so I just wanted to do a video about it for KO Gaming. And I'll be releasing that sometime early next week, but I got to take some time to work on that. So that's going to be like tonight and probably over the weekend. Next week, we've got the next episode of Hitman, if you're not aware. That's coming out on Tuesday. It's been a while since we had an official episode of Hitman released. It's been about 2 months, actually. So that'll be good to finally be getting back to that game and playing through the next episode. And seeing, you know, what happens with that. And then whatever else happens, and that's the thing, we don't know what's going to happen. There's always these episodic games and stuff coming out. I actually got a patch for Minecraft Story Mode last night on my PlayStation 4, and I'm like, why is there a patch for Minecraft Story Mode when the next episode wasn't announced? And I almost get the feeling that this patch is in preparation, that maybe next week we will see the next episode of Minecraft Story Mode, and they just haven't announced it yet. We all know how Telltale does it. They just last minute announce stuff. So it's very possible that, like, all of a sudden Sunday or Monday we'll be getting word, oh yeah, the next episode's out now. Like, oh, what? Yeah, I get the feeling it's gonna probably release shortly, maybe by the end of this month, but so yeah, I can't exactly 100% tell you what's gonna happen in regards to next week, but there will be new stuff balanced with the continuing Scarface and No Man's Sky when I play it, you know, a couple offline sessions. All right. So outside of all that, that's about it. You know, coming up, the new games for this month, the big high-profile releases are coming out on August 23rd. Primarily, it's going to be Deus Ex: Mankind Divided. You know, everyone's been waiting for this game for many years. When I played Deus Ex Human Revolution years ago, it was a great playthrough. People really enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing the game. I mean, this was 4 years ago. It was one of those games I actually did well sneaking, which typically I suck at sneaking. But I did pretty good in Deus Ex, Human Revolution. And so I'm wondering, you know, how will I play this one? Will I play this one more run and gun? Will I go for tech abilities, or will I go for sneaking again? I don't know. It's been 4 years, so we'll see what I feel like when the game comes out. But that's a big high-profile release. And then, of course, King of Fighters 15, or is it 14? I think it's 14, actually. I keep saying 15. I think it's 14. That comes out on the same day, so that'll be a week of balancing kind of those two games. And there's also some indie releases that week that I may or may not play, depending on how much time I have. The end of the month, we got Attack on Titan. There's also strong rumors that the final DLC character for Street Fighter V will be released. Obviously, there's other DLC stuff that might be coming out. So we got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff this month, okay? So it's going to be a good one. Just for the next week or so, we just got to go with the flow with what's going on. So Scarface and No Man's Sky and whatever episodic stuff till we get to those big releases near the end of the month. Okay? I do want to say thank you for the pretty awesome performance of my video about No Man's Sky that I made on Wednesday night over on KO Gaming. If you haven't seen it yet, youtube.com/KOGaming1. I did basically kind of a 20-minute summary of what I've seen in No Man's Sky in the first 8 hours of gameplay that I played, and my kind of early initial review and feelings about the game. Because I am mixed. I think the game's good in some ways, but that the game really comes up short in other ways, and this is going to be a very dividing game where only a certain type of gamer who's looking for a certain gameplay experience that may not be the mainstream experience people looking for, that's kind of my feeling, is that, I don't know, it's going to be a game that a lot of people may not like. And incidentally, No Man's Sky was released on PC, so I think a lot of people went and checked out the video who had pre-orders on PC and made their decision based on it. So, yeah, interesting. But anyway, in one single day, my video on No Man's Sky got 10,000 views. I almost never get that kind of attention on any edited video I do. Ever. I mean, even the biggest ones. I mean, you know that Homefront the Revolution video that has almost 1 million views now? That video only had like 5,000 views in the first 24 hours. So, to get 10,000 views in 24 hours on an edited video is like not normal. So, I know that there was tons of interest regarding that game and people's thoughts on it. So, thank you for those who checked it out. And if you haven't yet, give it a look. You know, there'll be a lot more edited style videos coming out for KO Gaming in the next few weeks. In particular, as we head into the hardcore gaming season, all of the new games coming out, I'll be doing reviews and that kind of stuff on them. So I get the feeling the channel will get a lot of attention because of it, and I'm excited for that. Alright. Well, everyone, we're going to get started with Scarface here in a moment. I think I'll take the time now to do the quick gratuitous plugs, as I say. And then we'll begin, alright? So, first off, thanks. So far, so good this month. We're 12 days into the month. Things are going good, you know, business-wise, FYI. Much better than it was in July, so I'm pleased. And I could tell that people are liking what I'm doing a lot more. I got higher attendance on the streams. More people are checking out my videos. I'm excited, and I hope you are too for this month. I hope you're having fun. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. And, you know, heading strong, to end the summer strong, and heading into the busy gaming season with a head start is going to help. So thank you, and hopefully we can keep this up. Please follow me on Twitter, @TheyCallMeDSP. There you can get daily schedule updates, all kinds of stuff in regards to myself and my content, but also personal stuff about stuff that I'm doing. I take pictures when I go out. Like, for example, tomorrow, it's the weekend. And I'll be taking a day to go out with my girlfriend Leanna and just do some casual stuff, you know, maybe some shopping or, you know, doing errands, going to dinner. And I take pictures and I share stuff like that on Twitter. And it's just the way to be in the know. It is my primary way to stay in communication with my viewership. So please follow me @TheyCallMeDSP on Twitter. I've already talked about KO Gaming, so I won't. You already know about it. You can see the link right here. There's a Loot Crate discount code in all of my streams and videos in the description. You can use this code to save 10% on any new Loot Crate subscription, including the regular Loot Crate, Loot Anime, Loot Gaming. They have a bunch of them now. There's one that they were calling Level Up. Now they changed it to, like, I think it was like Loot. I forget. They sent me an email this morning. It's the apparel box. It's like all clothing items. But yeah, you can use the code SAVEME10DSP. SAVEME10DSP to save 10% on any Loot Crate subscription. And I'll be unboxing shortly, about a week or two here, a Loot Anime box for the first time. I'm going to see what it's all about. And then I'll be doing Loot Gaming in September, so that should be fun for variety's sake. It could be cool to switch around. Patreon. If you like my daily live streams, you love my on-demand videos, you like the fact that I do this for a living, and you want to see it continue in the long term, please check out my Patreon at patreon.com/darksidephil. Your pledges to my Patreon allow me to do this full time. If I did not adopt Patreon last year with all the changes to YouTube and the ad revenue models and everything, and I kind of switched over from this ongoing contract I had for a million years to this one that's more based on fluctuating revenue. If I didn't have Patreon, I wouldn't be doing this full time anymore. That's the bottom line. That's straight talk with you. It's been Patreon that's allowed me to keep doing this and pay my bills and make this a viable enterprise. So thank you to those of you who've been ongoing pledgees. I hope that you've enjoyed the ride so far, all the fun stuff that we've done as a result of Patreon. Just an example, all right? The Sonic 2006 playthrough that was incredibly successful, that people absolutely loved, that I'm still getting positive feedback about, and that I'm going to make a video about shortly, was a direct result of Patreon. The patrons voted for that game. They wanted to see it, and look how awesome it turned out. So Patreon becomes great new content that normally I wouldn't be doing that's not new releases. Okay? So, please consider pledging if you haven't. Not only are you contributing to allow me to do this fun stuff full-time, but also you get personal perks like premium forum access to thekingofhate.com so you can vote on these events. You get text and verbal thank yous in my videos. You can get your question answered on my question Q&A show, Ask the King. You can even get a private Q&A video made, All those are the awesome perks that you can get personally, but you also contribute to a monthly goal. This month, the monthly goal is a guaranteed full playthrough of one of the following 3 games. All right? Jak 3 HD, Banjo-Kazooie HD, or Crash Bandicoot 3. All 3 of those are in the running. If you pledge $5 or more by the end of the month, you will be able to vote on which one you want to see. And whatever wins the poll will be a playthrough that will begin sometime in September and will, continue on until it's done. This is a direct response to what the patrons have told me they want. People have expressed disappointment in my previous goals, saying it kind of sucks when, we hit the goal, and then I do a game, but it's only like a 7-hour marathon, and then I never get back to it. People want to see a full playthrough. Now, I want to say something. I'm going to be honest with everyone. I've been advertising this goal for about a week. I don't think anyone has pledged in the past week. If you take a look at my Patreon, it's still at the same amount. So we've now got about 2 weeks left in the month. All right? 2 weeks left, 14 days or so. Actually, I think there's 31 days, so technically it's like 16 days left in the month. If you want to see this happen, you have to pledge. All right? You have to. This is a motivational tool so that we can get people to pledge, so that I can get more Patreon revenue, obviously. Allows me to keep doing this. But also that these playthroughs can happen. September is going to be a busy time with new releases and everything going on. Re-releases, a lot of HD re-releases in September. And so to take time out to balance in a retro playthrough like this is a little tricky. This allows it to happen because basically through the Patreon financing, I don't have to worry about, I lost a little bit of, revenue to do a downtime game or anything like that. But I'm just throwing it out there, you got to pledge. You can't just rely on, others will pledge and it'll happen. No. Last month for the first time ever, we didn't hit the goal. And I think some people are disappointed about that, and you have a reason to be. If you wanted to see that goal happen and now it won't happen, it's a little disappointing, but that's how Patreon works. Patreon, you have to hit the goal in order to get the reward. So please, if you like everything I'm doing, please consider pledging. 16 days left. But you have to pledge to make it happen. These goals will not happen by themselves. Okay? All right. And I just want to throw this out there, too. You know, every little bit helps. I know, maybe you can't even, maybe $5. Oh, man, I can't do $5. $1. $1 helps. I used to say this all the time. I'll bring it up again. The most successful people who use Patreon don't have people pledging giant amounts. They have a large amount of people who watch their stuff on the internet give $1. And that's not a lie. Go look at the most successful people. They've got thousands of people giving them $1. It adds up. Just think about this, right? Just think about this. If this month, if 1/10 of the people who watch a video that I put out this month gave me $1, I wouldn't need ad revenue. I could say I don't even care about advertisements on YouTube or any of that shit. I wouldn't have to do giant gratuitous plug segments. I wouldn't. That's the bottom line, but we're nowhere near there, okay? So please consider $1 a month. It helps. All right, everyone. Last but not least, obviously my girlfriend has her own business, as you can see right here on the lovely pre-splash screen. The Black Current, where she sells handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. Please consider checking out her business. Everyone who's checked it out has liked it, and I'm serious. Take a look at her feedback on the website. Everyone who's actually bought the product has been very pleased with it. High-level stuff, better than what you're going to get at a normal store 9 times out of 10. You know, great ingredients that are good for your skin. Great scents. And also she sells wax tart melts that are a great alternative to a scented candle because there's no fire hazard. You're just melting a ball of wax. Okay? All right. So check it out, and thank you to those who have in the past. That's it. Gratuitous plugs over. Time to start with Scarface. Hope you're excited. I am for sure. And let us begin, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show on the road. Thanks.